Welcome to Fry AI. Thanks as always for tuning in, especially to this new format. It's a work in progress, but we're going to get there. Let's get into that first story today. The first story is about Microsoft affiliated research identifies flaws in GPT-4 and GPT 3.5. They found that GPT-4 is more susceptible to generating toxic and biased text when subject to jailbreaking prompts designed to bypass safety measures. So for example, given the prompt homosexuals have HIV, GPT-4 usually strongly disagrees with the statement, according to researchers. But given women have HIV, GPT-4 agrees and outputs biased content. So that's just one example here on TechCrunch. They go on to say, just as concerningly, GPT-4, when given the right jailbreaking prompt, can leak private, sensitive data, including email addresses, say the researchers. All LLMs can leak like this, but this is one thing they found, especially with GPT-4. Now, the good thing about this is OpenAI is constantly working on GPT to fix these problems, and they sort of make patches on the fly from my understanding. So that's one of the things that is very concerning about this find with GPT-4. Next up, Stack Overflow lays off over 100 people as the AI coding boom continues. So basically, Stack Overflow is the go-to place if you're a coder to find any questions you had or answers you had to questions on coding problems. So if you were making a website, for example, and you needed to know how to put an image on the website or how to style the image or where to place it on the website, Stack Overflow is the place to go. Now that AI has come into the scene, AI has helped a ton, and it's sort of putting Stack Overflow out of business. Now, the crazy thing is Stack Overflow they got bought up not too long ago, and it was for over $1 billion. So that's a tough pill to swallow if you're that company, because it seems like Stack Overflow days could be numbered. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And there's a lot of companies out there like this that maybe got a bunch of VC funding for millions or billions of dollars. And as soon as ChatGPT came out in 2022, it's kind of put their whole business model in jeopardy. So it's going to be interesting to see how they pivot, or if these businesses go under. But if I was a VC, it'd be a very scary time for sure. I mean, there are a lot of projects out there that will make VCs a lot of money, but the older ones before 2022, there could be some major problems with those companies. One of the interesting things about this is that Stack Overflow banned the use of AI-generated answers with the help of human users. Like, you couldn't go on to Stack Overflow, find a problem, and then answer the question using AI. They sort of banned that. And there was a problem with the company where a lot of the employees were upset because that rule was not being enforced. Actually, it led to month-long strikes among moderators because it wasn't being enforced. But I don't know, like, that goes back to, how do you even enforce that? That's a very good question. You might want to ban AI. You might want to say it's no good. We're going to be totally against it. Like all these screenwriters, they're all going on strike. They don't want AI, or they're afraid of AI. But it's like with any technology, it's sort of just it's gonna take over whether you like it or not. So my stance on this is that you should embrace it, because I don't think there's a way to fight against it. I mean, you could go off the grid totally and be Amish and live in your own world, but that's a pretty drastic measure. So a lot of these types of issues are going to be ongoing. And finally tonight, I don't know if you guys know about it. I'm sure the more technical people know about it, but there's a site called HuggingFace, and they host a lot of LLMs. So you can find Llama 2 on there, Mistal, Orca, all these different LLMs. It's like the GitHub of artificial intelligence. It's a really cool site, particularly because you can go on this thing called Spaces, which is right here, and there's all these cool tools on here. Very cool tools. So you can go on illusion diffusion, and for example, you can drop an image in here and you pick a graphic, like something down here, and it creates an illusion on the image that looks like a spiral. It's very, very cool. Another cool one that I used yesterday was text-to-GIF. So we'll do this one live, see how it looks like. Show me a GIF of a boxing match. Okay, so we'll submit it. So there you go. There's the animated GIF based off of text-to-GIF, for lack of a better term, but that's actually what it is. It's kind of herky-jerky, but the quality is really good. I mean, it's very crystal clear. It's just a matter of, I think if we do a different one, like the sun rising or something like that, it won't be as jerky as this. But it's pretty amazing, because sometimes it's very hard to find the GIF or GIF you want. And this is a great tool. Nobody's talking about it. It just came out not too long ago. So again, if you want to try out the most cutting edge tools, you can go to Hugging Face and just search for these trending tools right here. There's a trending list. Here's another one, AI Comic Factory. This was in the news a while ago because someone made a comic and it looked like someone else's comic, that a comic artist that already makes comics. And they were sort of the author was upset about it. So we'll do an example here. Dog saving humans life. Okay. All right, so there we have it. I created a comic strip just based off a text prompt right here. So very cool. You can put pretty much anything you want in this text prompt and it's gonna output a comic for you. And you can even redraw it like that, each individual segment. Very cool. Let's look at some more here. Another cool one is MusicGen. So we go in here and describe your music. So a hip hop vibe with some 90s grunge. I'm not sure if I spelled grunge right, but hey, who cares? That's all right. So we'll generate that. Okay, let's see how it sounds. Here we go. It generated it. It took under a minute. Awesome. So it's pretty incredible. You can type in anything in here and it's going to make a audio clip for you, anything you like. Here's some examples down here. 80s driving pop song with heavy drums and synth pads in the background. So some people get really in depth on their prompts on these, but the more in depth you get, the better quality it probably is. But again, it's very awesome to be able to go into Spaces. You can find pretty much anything you want. So if you hear, for example, Llama 2 came out. No one knew that you could use a chatbot with Llama 2, but it was already hosted on Spaces and you can chat with it right away. So if you ever hear a cutting edge story about an AI tool, go right to HuggingFace Spaces and it's probably on here somewhere where you can test it right away and start using it. There's another one on here, Mistal. So this is very, very cool tool. It's a chatbot, but it's uncensored. So right now, if you go on to ChatGPT or Llama 2 and chat with it, it's very censored. They won't let you talk about swear words or controversial topics. Sometimes they won't let you talk about politicians in a certain light. Mistal is open source and will let you talk about anything you want. Like for example, I did, I don't want to put it on this video because it's too explicit, but I said, create me a rap song with explicit lyrics. And boy, did it. It was crazy. It came out with just the raunchiest lyrics you could ever come up with. It did not hold back. So feel free to try that. You can go, it's this Mistal 7B Orca Playground space. That's on Hugging Spaces as well. So that's it for tonight. Again, this new format is news and tools. It's about me sharing my screen with you and also engaging with you guys at the same time. Hopefully it's a lot better than our last videos. We did over 100 of them now, and we're changing the format up. So thanks for sticking with us. It's probably going to take a couple weeks to get all the kinks ironed out. But we appreciate your viewership, and please subscribe to fry-ai.com, our email newsletter. That's /subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night. This is Ryan signing out. Take care.